Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Morning, kids. Got my invisiblehandfashion.com coffee mug. Gonna finish this off. I don't really enjoy the coffee. I just slam it down. They're like, can you even taste what you drink? It's like, yeah, I can. Had it happen one time. See, I eat fast. I'll explain. This has nothing to do with the request. I haven't gotten to which request I'm going to do. I'm going to go through it here. But I'm going to tell you something. I eat incredibly fast. And the reason why I go harkens back to the days when college we were on call and we didn't get a break. You were on call, you had to take it. And so you would eat as fast as you could. And there was just no time. And it's the same thing today. I eat incredibly fast because there's no time. Even though I could be sitting at a 5-course meal and we're there for 2 hours, which is hell. Reincarnated, by the way. You just can't sit there. Oh my goodness, the souffle. I've never had souffle. I don't know what it is, but let's just say it. Souffle is amazing. Fuck. And one time, like, do you even taste your food? So there was some kind of dish. It had nutmeg and some other spices. Cardamom or something like that. Something I could identify. Okay, what did it taste like? Well, I'm like, there was nutmeg and some vanilla, and they were all shocked. And the person who made it was like, oh, so you actually do taste the food. It's like, yeah. And I'm right on this. Let me tell you why I'm right and everybody's wrong. You're all wrong sitting there taking your time eating. You just take your knife, your little fork. It's like, fuck, we got shit to do today. Would you guys like to stuff your fucking faces and we could get out of here and go have fun? Maybe when I was a kid, I was forced to sit at the dinner table and until everybody was done, I wasn't allowed to leave. And then you're just sitting there like waiting. It's like when I'm 3 years old, like waiting. Life is ticking by. Dying. Anyway, that's why I eat fast and everybody should as well. All right, let's get to the work here. Where we go? Okay. Brian writes, hey Aaron, how much for a video request to comment on the following website? And it says government success stories. I went through it and this is painfully amateurish. And this is like some kid who was put together by some kid who took one political science class. Oh my God, you know that the government has done amazing things? I'm like, yeah, over the course of millennia, the thousands of governments that have existed may have done accidentally some great things. And sometimes the government is good at doing things, but this kid is putting together examples of where the government is obviously better than the private sector, ignoring everything and every example where the government has taken over the means of production and starved all of its people. Not to mention dictatorially rule over them. So he wants me to go through, and this is like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 instances. And I'm like, dude, that's going to be $100 for me to go over each and every one. Well, he says, just go over 2. I said, okay, that's a deal. So he says, basically the website is from the 90s, which explains the shitty design, and is trying to argue for liberalism. You mean socialism. Liberalism has a different meaning in Europe. It means freedom. This website has a ton of stuff that's pretty embarrassing, so I'm surprised this idiot hasn't gotten rid of it by now. The idiot may not even know it still exists. I imagine you would want $100 to comment on all the stupid stuff on the site. Yep. Even though it would only take you about 1 minute to find a lot of stupid things in the first place. So how much to comment on specifically his list of the federal home loan program, that led to the 2008 housing crisis as a government success story instead of a free market failure. I will go with that one. And how much to prominently feature this on your blog for those idiots who want to blame the 2008 housing crisis on the free market. Well, if you go to my book, since you want this one, let's just address this one now, and I'll go through the painful list that he has before. Let's admit that everybody was responsible for the housing crisis. If you read my first book, it's called Behind the Housing Crash. The free market is not always right either. This is why you have stock market crashes and recessions. You overinvest, you make stupid investments, those investments don't pay off, that capital has now been squandered, And now production slows down. You do not have economic growth. You have economic contraction. Now you have a recession. That is natural. I love how anytime the economy slows down, communists, socialists, and other parasites are immediately rushing in to say it's market failure, market failure. The market never fails. It never fails. It will recover. You know, the raccoon, oh, there's a wounded raccoon in our backyard, and oh, leave it alone, little Aaron. Go finish your peas. Sit there and be bored until your brother finally finishes and you're like 10 years older. Anyway, the bank, trust me, I work for the banks. Private sector was completely lending out of line. The borrowers were lying. I mean, we're talking the scum of the earth. There's a reason I hate bankers and I hate real estate developers. Because most of them are scum. But the government did not help either with super low interest rates and the Federal Home Loan Program, because now you have flooded the market. See, the government can do the same thing. Very similar to what it's doing with the education bubble. And 9 out of 10 times, if you see prices of something going up to unaffordability, there's usually the government intervention involved. It's interfering with the market. It's not letting people do what they would naturally do. And you usually worsen a bubble that's already been created by the private sector. For example, higher education. You all think we need more money for education. That is the last thing we need for education. Because right now, take today, there's a fixed amount of buildings and professors and teachers and chairs and campuses. And this education industry is only capable of conferring a certain number of degrees, offering so many classes. Now, that could change over time. It can increase or lessen. But right now, as it is, and in the short term, there's kind of a fixed amount of degrees and students the education system can handle right now. If you throw more money into it, which the government does, we throw about $600 billion in education, half of which is higher education or scholarships, also private sector, and parents borrow money out of their house to pay for their kids' little degree in creative writing. You throw all that money into a system that can only handle and produce a certain amount of students. You're not going to really increase the number of students. You're just going to increase the cost of tuition because there's more money chasing a fixed amount of degrees. Same thing here with Federal Home Loan Program. Oh, you didn't qualify for a mortgage? Well, that's all right. The government will guarantee your loan, and now more money. Was there any more housing? Like, yeah, you can increase the housing supply, but not by a lot. On that immediate point in time, so all he did is throw more money at a fixed amount of houses, and surprise, surprise, the number of dollars per house went up. It's called the price. So there was certainly some private sector shenanigans, and I would disproportionately lay it on the private sector. But the federal government, this is not a success, the Federal Home Loan, because we got all these people in the houses. It's like, yeah, and then they all defaulted and they were homeless, and then you ruined their credit score and ruined their ability to get jobs, get financing in the future. It's a perfect example of the short-sightedness of dipshit liberals. You know, Mr. I took my first political science class and I'm just repeating what the professor said, and the professor's no more intelligent than the 19-year-old. So we'll adjust that one. Let's go through settling the West, funding railroads, telephone infrastructure. What you're going to notice is a lot of these do play a role in a public good. And you say, what's a public? Public good is where my consumption of it does not preclude your consumption of it. And that's kind of the general golden rule as to when a government should offer a good or a service versus the private sector. For example, defense. Right now I'm being protected by the F-15s flying around, the aircraft carriers out there and all that, and our soldiers. That doesn't mean me getting protected precludes you from getting protected. Same thing, he puts Eisenhower's Interstate Highway Program. Well, me driving on the highway doesn't preclude you from doing it. These are roads, and I don't think this shows you the naivete of the author of this website. You're not going to find, except really wacko libertarians, who are going to argue with you that the government shouldn't provide judicial systems, defense, or roads. It's like, yeah, okay, that's kind of the business of government, is to build the roads. Maybe some basic education. His telephone infrastructure, yes, when you have like people way the hell far out, government might want to say, okay, I know it's not profitable for the company to bring it up. Maybe we go and connect these people. Federal Emergency Management Agency, once a bureaucratic joke. Today, FEMA has won widespread praise for its response to natural disasters. Like, well, who gave them the praise? Who is they? Earthquake, hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes. No private business could wait the long intervals between disasters like FEMA does, or bring relief to entire cities or states. FEMA hasn't done that. The internet, Federal Reserve System. Okay. Remember what I talked about? Flooding an economy with money? AmeriCorps, Bureau of Economic Analysis. I'm not going to argue with that. The Bureau of Economic Analysis is good. It's like a library. I guess the point is, this guy, I'm going to find, I like the national parks. Public libraries. He puts public libraries in here. Well, duh. What's the government for? Here, he even lists the U.S. Armed Forces. This idiot does, I mean, he does not know. All right, let's go with the Peace Corps. Let's just rip this one. Created by John F. Kennedy. He probably just copied and pasted this from Wikipedia. Created by John F. Kennedy, this program sends 7,000 Americans a year out to developing countries to help them with everything from healthcare to farming techniques. Even conservatives like it because the participants provide social, economic, political information to our intelligence agencies. No conservatives like this. The Peace Corps. Okay, John F. Kennedy, was it 62, 63 maybe? Do we still have third world shitholes? If the Peace Corps worked, Social Security, if it worked, if the Peace Corps worked, why would all these immigrants want to come to our country? I mean, it's so... The Peace Corps is a perfect example of a spectacular failure. Where you just look at it and you don't even have to predict it. The people that go into Peace Corps are just avoiding a job. They just want to travel. They're lazy fucks. They don't want to work hard. They just want to travel, and they want to have immediate gratification, immediate value. Like, I have the poor Ooga-Booga Wooga tribe over in the Ooga-Booga jungle, and we put in a hole in it, and none of these people, none of these have improved the lives of anyone they've claimed to help. What people in second and third world and developing countries in general, they need economic investment, they need infrastructure, and largely the private sector has way kicked the ass of any government nonprofit. China especially has done more to modernize and raise people out of poverty with their investments. Cell phone technology has done more to help. I mean, think about this. Africa, the continent, got to leapfrog an entire technology. They didn't have to lay down landlines. They just have to put up cell towers, which is a lot cheaper than laying down landlines and telephone poles. Got cell phones. All right, the invention of the cell phone did more to help raise African standards of living than all the Peace Corps. That one guy or gal, I'm going to assume it's a guy because we invent everything. That one guy who invented the cell phone did more to advance and eliminate poverty in Africa than all the Peace Corps members combined. So I think that is the biggest laughable joke. Social Security is a joke. It's not fundable unless we print off more money or borrow more money. And some of these, I'm not, this is such, almost 2/3, if not 3/4 of what he's listing here are things the government should be doing. Like, I'm for some regulatory agencies. I'm for the GI Bill. Although that is not really a government thing. Head Start. He puts Head Start here. Head Start's a babysitting program for whorish single mothers who didn't want to raise their kids. That's all it is. Every study about Head Start just shows these kids don't do any better. It's just a jobs program for liberal education majors. It's a joke. Hoopy.com. What is Hoopy.com? Oh, I got so much work to do. Wow, yeah, this is a 90s website. Look at this. Look at this. I wonder who this guy is. Oh, this is from 04. Let's It's not that old. I don't know who this guy is. A much neglected personal website. Wow. Yeah, this does look on 90. Oh, here we go. No. Your resume. All right, let's look at this guy's resume. Wow, he built this in 97. This is throwing me back because my website's going to look like this. I remember this is definitely, just basic text and all that. Current job. Your resume. He's a software engineer. Oh, I bet you he got slammed. Pre-2000 software engineering work, he got slammed by the .com. This guy, this is over 20 years old. Oh my God, I'm going back to the day. Wow, this is old school. I'm wondering if he even still believes this bullshit. I bet you him working in STEM. Oh, here's Tom Hoopy. Okay. Well, let's just take a look here. You could be a total conservative now. Because you guys were idiots back in the day. Everyone was a moron. No. Where is he? Man, this guy doesn't seem to exist. This is a different one. God, yeah, this guy's kind of... I don't want to say go to this guy because it could be a completely different guy. Anyway, that's it. Questions, answers, blah, blah, blah. That was very cute. Hey, don't you wish you could have the internet remember dumb shit you wrote in the 90s? We'll see you guys later. Toodles.